of the world, now I'm living. And the good just gets better, keeps on giving. Not even close to the end, it's just beginning. Life is getting lighter while the days are getting brighter, yeah.
Hi, it's Ann Perry, and I just want to say thanks so much for stopping by. Many of you have been contacting me expressing concern, expressing interest. I have lots of questions with regards to those tricky master numbers. And the one that really trips you up a lot is that master number 11. So today we're going to be talking about the energy of the master number 2911. Now, if your date of birth adds up to a 29, then we're going to say 2 and 9 equal 11. So 29 is actually the master number equivalent to the 11. So this is all about understanding the unique lessons of the 2 and the 9 that make you the unique master number 11 that you are. So now, if you haven't already gone to see the video that I've done on how to calculate your life path number correctly, I encourage you to go there now. The link is just down below there. You might want to just hop over there for a minute just to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we have calculated our life path numbers correctly, because that's very, very important to understanding this video. Okay, so let's talk firstly a little bit about the master number 11. What exactly does the 11 mean? Well, the 11 has double ones, okay? So the one energy is all about creativity and being comfortable with your level of creativity, and it's all about confidence. We're going to talk today about how does that relate back to the 2 and the 9, okay? Because that's what makes you very unique. You're not just an 11, you're a 2911. So we have a double need to be the visionary, okay? Double need to see things, double need to be right, double sensitivity, double need to inspire and to empower and to leave a footprint for your lifetime here. Remember that the 11s, regardless of what type of 11 you are, whether it's a 3811, whether it's a 2911, or if it's just an 11, even the 4711, which shows up sometimes, all of you have that unique quality that says, I signed a contract before I got here that says I'm going to do something amazing while I'm here. So I think it's important that we understand what kind of 11 you are so that it might help you to better understand how you can accomplish this big task that you know is in front of you. Because I know a lot of you are very frustrated, and you're so frustrated because you don't know exactly what you're supposed to be doing or how to go about figuring it out. So I thought that by breaking down the various numbers, it might be a little easier for you to understand what your task is. But always in the end, it's always going to be about being that spiritual messenger. So those who are here living with the master number 2911 are here to combine creative energy, which comes from the 1s, with higher principles and integrity, which comes from the 2, which is higher principles, and the integrity comes from the 9. You are here to create a very unique way to use your creativity to be of service to other people. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you is that likely what you're looking for has never been created before. Now that can either stress you out or it can make you feel a little bit more comfortable with the fact that you don't have to compare yourself to anybody, because whatever it is that you're going to be doing that's going to satisfy your soul, you know, your need to be here and your need to participate with humanity, whatever that is has not been created yet, so it's all yours. So you don't need to compare yourself to anybody, and you know, the 11s are kind of famous for doing that. They hold the bar really, really high, aspiring to be like everybody else, but just, you know, a little bit better. It's that need for perfectionism. But you don't need to have that. You can release that, because whatever it is you're supposed to be doing hasn't been done yet. So you're here to be the inventor. You're also here to align yourself better with higher wisdom. So that's tapping into spirit, okay? It's tapping in and trusting the flow of energy that comes through you, the creative potential that comes through you. And you might be able to get that through meditation, through you know, communicating through angel cards or numerology or any other form of divination technique. Your mission here is to overcome the negative characteristics that are associated with the 2 and the 9 vibration. So let's take a look at these numbers independently, the 2 and the 9. The 2 energy in the 2911 is all about learning how to be a team player. It's learning how to be cooperative. It's learning how to be one-on-one. You know, when we look at the 11, the 1s are typically very independent. So you've got a double need to be independent, and yet at the same time, the 2 1s equate back to the 2 that says, I want to be part of a partnership. Double-edged sword here a little bit. you need to learn how to overcome a lot of those insecurities. Remember we talked about in all of these 11 videos that I've done, we talk about the fact that 11s, regardless of how you come to be an 11, hold the bar so freaking high, right? You guys hold the bar so high and you set humongous expectations for yourselves. And sometimes you are just overwhelmed by the expectation that you've set up for yourself. And a lot of times you feel like it's really not your expectation. It's that the whole world is expecting something amazing from me because I signed that damn contract before I got here, right? And I know I've got to live up to that. And I just don't feel like I'm living up to my potential. So I get it. It's hard. It is hard. But learning how to overcome your insecurities, learning how to have a little bit more faith in yourself, setting yourself into situations where you can become a little bit more of an expert in a field, developing a little bit more confidence in any given field will certainly help you go a long way. Learning to set boundaries. The energy of the 2 says that I can be everybody's doormat, right? So you've got to be really careful not to put yourself in a position where people are going to take advantage of you, okay? That's also common with the 9 as well as the 2. Learning how to establish balance in your life. The 2 is all about balance. It's not going to the extreme of any one thing give over another. It's learning how to kind of balance your life. Developing a strong and trusting relationship with spirit is key. 11s, again, regardless of how you come to be an 11, there's a veil that exists between you and the other side, okay? But that veil is a lot thinner for you than anybody else. We've all got the veil, okay? But it's much, much thinner for you. So I always say you've got this crazy 1-800 dial-up connection to your angels, your spirit guides, your teachers, the archangels, whoever it is that you choose to communicate with. You've got a 1-800 dial-up connection. But probably as a child, you shut that down a little bit. So, because it got a little bit scary. People were laughing at you because you had all these invisible friends. Well, let me tell you, those are not invisible friends. Those are energies that actually exist, right? But as a child, you were probably told to kind of put away your invisible friends in favor of, playing with the adults and the kids and being that normal kid. So it's unfortunate, but that does happen to an awful lot of 11s. So you need to develop a strong and trusting relationship with spirit to get the job done, because really your inspiration, your creative potential, your need to deliver a message is going to come through the influence of spirit. The number 9, the number 9s have a real need to overcome the opinion of other people. They really rely on the opinions of other people, and that can kind of get them in trouble a little bit in terms of their confidence. They have a hard time kind of putting it out there because they're going to make sure that it's the popular opinion, it's the popular vote. They want to be accepted. They want to be made to feel like they fit in. A lot of 11s feel like they don't fit in. They don't feel like they're even from this planet. They got dropped here by accident, and they've been trying to figure it out ever since. So that the 9 energy that exists in the 29-11 is all about overcoming, relying on the opinions of other people. 9 energy here says own your stuff. Take responsibility for everything in your life. If your life is not playing out the way in which you want it to, you need to look at the patterns that you've put into place that are causing the things that you don't like in your life. So say, for example, if you're being treated like a doormat, how have you put it out there to say, yeah, it's okay, you can take advantage of me. Sure, yeah, okay, I'll do all that volunteer work at the school all the time, every time, without question, because I always do, and you always rely on me, right? So you don't want to let anybody down. So you have to kind of learn how to set some boundaries, same as the 2. Learn how to set some boundaries and take responsibility for your stuff. If life is not rolling out the way that you feel it should, take a look at how you're contributing to that kind of scenario in your life. Take responsibility for your actions. If you are somebody who is notoriously late, for example, and people are giving you a hard time about being late all the time, then you need to take responsibility for the fact that that has become your pattern, right? Don't blame anybody else. This is something I wanted to talk about too. The 9 energy, people who have 9 energy, and when it comes in the negative form, which when it comes to the left of the slash, in this case the 29 comes to the left of the 11, these are lessons, okay? So these become weaknesses, not strengths. They become weaknesses. Your strength is the one, the double ones, okay? On the right-hand side, your weaknesses are on the left-hand side. So you need to find ways to be of service to humanity, and that is all about, selfless contribution to humanity. That is where you're going to find your uniqueness. That is where you're going to find your happiness. Now, tips for living with the 29 life path number, which can be a challenge. I'm not going to deny that. You need to commit to an exercise program every single day without question. The double one energy creates a very high vibration, and it can be very stressful if you don't know how to work with it, don't know how to use it. So cardio, anything to do with cardio is really good for you guys. Get on the treadmill, get outside, walk your dog, like raise that heart rate up, and it will really help to keep you calm. Double one energy is a double need to exercise, but a double need to have cardio. Develop a skill that's going to allow you to express your creative energy. Again, the double one energy says, I'm going to create something that has not been created before. I'm going to deliver a message that no one's heard before. I'm going to make an impact. I'm going to leave a footprint. I am going to participate this time round in this Earth School of mine, and I'm going to leave a really good impression by empowering and inspiring a lot of people. So I need to develop a skill that is going to allow me to express my creative energy. Find ways to work in partnerships, that's the two energy, remember, the lesson about becoming a partner, with people who want to be of service to others, because ultimately at the end of the day, that is what you need to do, that is what you signed up to do, that's your contract, that's part of your blueprint, okay, is to be of service to other people. If this was a 3811, the 8 would be about money, making money with partnerships, which is the 2, to enhance the lot in life of a lot of people. Okay, that's not the case here. The case is to be of service to other people, which is the 9 energy that is your lesson. But it's also in cooperation with somebody else in order to get the job done. So you need to involve yourself in some kind of humanitarian project where it's not just you alone, but it's you in partnership with other people to be of service. You need to release the need to depend on other people's opinions. We talked about that earlier, but I can't stress it enough. You can't get the job done. You can't become your own creator. You can't become your own inventor. You can't become your own artist if you're going to always rely on the opinion of other people. So somehow, you need to be able to develop confidence and respect for your own potential without relying on the opinion of somebody else. Now here's some food for thought when we're working with the 2911 energy. Ask yourself this: how do I channel my creative energy, and in what ways do I block it? Is your feeling not good enough getting in your way of painting? Is it getting in your way of creating new music? Is it getting in your way of contributing to your blog? Do you set up roadblocks so you don't have to do that? Because those are the blocks that block the energy that needs to come through. And that's why I say, even if you're out walking or you're out running or jogging or whatever and raising that heart rate, your mind starts to get a little bit more creative, a little bit more active too. It really fuels the brain, so to speak, to allow that creative energy to flow. So ask yourself, how do I channel my creative energy? And if you're not doing it, why are you not doing it? And how is it that you're blocking it? Next question, how can I learn from my present situation? What situations are you in right now that are challenging you in some way? Are you having a hard time spending time in group environments? Because notoriously 11s, which equates to the 2 energy, are much better one-on-one, one-on-one partnerships rather than the group dynamic. But if you're going to be the person that inspires a lot of people on this planet, you're going to need to have to learn how to cope a little bit better with the group dynamic. So maybe that's a situation. So how can I learn from that present situation? So I know anytime I am faced with difficult people in my life, really challenging people in my life, I always step back and go, okay, so what am I supposed to be learning from this buffoon? He's in my face for a reason. I know I used to work with a guy that pushed my buttons worse than anybody could push. And I got so upset with him. I used to leave the office in tears. I was so upset by him. But you know what? At the end of the day, I realized he was my greatest gift because he pushed me in such a way that said, A, I don't want to work here anymore, right? Because he's here, right? And that forced me to develop what it was I was supposed to be doing in the first place, which was being right here with you guys and teaching you all about numerology. So I'm grateful for him. He pissed me off enough to cause me to leave and cause me to be able to really pursue what I needed to do. So again, when you're set up with challenging situations or challenging people in front of you, stop for a second. Don't look like the victim. Lose that victim t-shirt. Drop that, in the ocean, and just ask yourself, why is this person in front of me? Why is he ticking me off? What am I supposed to be learning from this? What areas in my life do I need to take ownership of? There's lots of people who complain that, I'm just washing dishes at the diner and I just don't have the education. Well, you know what? Whose fault is that? Now you can say, well, I didn't have the money and I didn't have the financial circumstances and I didn't have the support and I didn't have, bull crappy. I'm sorry, but there's all kinds of great stories that you'll read about people who had nothing. And guess what? Every one of them found a way to do whatever it is they wanted. They just needed to want it badly enough. So take ownership of it. If you don't have a rocket science degree, well, guess what? You didn't apply yourself, so you don't have a rocket science degree. So what? Okay, go on and find something else you can do, but at least own it. Don't blame other people. You get nowhere in life by blaming other people. And this is something that's really big for the nines. That's part of the 9 energy here, the 9 lesson. Nines have a tendency to want to be the fixers. And when they can't come up with a solution to fix something or someone, they start pointing the fingers outside of themselves going, well, if I'd only had, a better education, I could have figured that out. Well, if I'd only had a supportive spouse, if I hadn't had such a terrible childhood, well, if I hadn't been abused, or if I hadn't been, right? So just take ownership, because you know what? That's where you grow from. Just own it, right? Whatever your life circumstances are and wherever you are in this life, understand that you create your own reality. Own it. It's a big part of this 2911. How would I most like to be of service to other people? What makes your heart sing? If you could do anything, what would it be with regards to being of service to other people? Would you want to go to Africa to dig wells for people? Would you like to go overseas and teach kids how to read? Maybe teach English as a second language? What really would make your heart sing? Okay, that's key to this, right? You guys who are the 2911s are different than the 3811s or than just the 11s, because you need to be of service to other people. That is where your happiness lies, and that is where you're going to find the most success in your life as it relates to your life purpose and why the heck you're here in the first place. So if you can seek out places to be of service to people in partnership, that's the 2, remember? The 2 is all about being in partnership. So you need to be of service to other people. That's the 9. You need to master a way in which to bring forth a way to help people. That's the 11, right? So the 2 is all about partnership. The 9 is about being of service to other people, and the 11 is mastering it. So I hope that these tips are helping you to understand that you're quite unique, and the way in which you go about being an 11 is very unique. And you can't just say, I'm an 11, because now you know that if your numbers add up to 29, you're not an 11, you're a 2911, right? It's way different kind of an 11. How can I begin to trust my heart rather than investing in other people's opinions? Again, when you start worrying about what people think about you, that's the 9, and you're not trusting your heart, that's the 2, because you're very sensitive, that can stop you dead in your tracks of being able to accomplish that soul's contract that you signed, that life's contract that you signed that said, I'm going to deliver an important message. I'm going to inspire and empower a lot of people. But if we worry too much about the opinions of others and we invest too much time and energy into that, it stops us dead in our tracks and we're not able to accomplish what it is we're here to accomplish. And again, where do I play the blame game? Who is it in your life that you are blaming for your lack of success? Who is it? Is it a mom? Is it a dad? Is it a brother? Is it a teacher? Is it yourself? Who is it that you're blaming for your lack of success? It's a big question. Okay, so I hope that I have helped you to understand the differences between being an 11 and being at 2911. I am going to further our video studies in this area, and we will be talking in the next video about the 3811 and how does that relate to expressing yourself and your money and your power and your authority, and it's all wrapped up into a really interesting little package. So if you have any questions, by all means, please reach out and post a little question down below. I answer every single one of them. I would love to have you visit my website. I've got a newsletter that comes out once a month you might be interested in. I've got a very active Facebook page I'd love for you to visit and like my page. And I sure hope that you will subscribe, because I'm absolutely passionate about helping you to understand what your purpose is. My life purpose is to help you to find out what yours is. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm hoping that you have a little bit more insight than what you did before we started. Have a great one, everybody. Take care.